Both Vivek and RFK have said they'll pardon Julian Assange or pardon Snowden, and that's resonating with an audience. Even Elon Musk, I think, did a poll, should Assange and Snowden be pardoned? I think he did that last year. I don't know the exact results on what the numbers were. Rob, if you've seen the poll that Musk did, there you go, 80.5%, 3.3 million votes. 80.5% said yes, 19.5% said no. Do you think they should pardon them? And two, do you think that's really a big deal if one of those candidates does that?
I think it would have been. I think it was incredibly disappointing to me personally that Trump didn't. He got way closer to pardoning Snowden than Assange. I thought it was a huge failure on the part of Trump not to do it. The reason he didn't do it, and this is what the second impeachment was about, without question, like, why were they impeaching a president days away from leaving the White House? The reason was because Republican senators were hanging over Trump's head. There were several things they were fearful that he would do. One was declassify a bunch of old CIA files, including the JFK assassination. The other was pardoning Snowden and Assange. And Mitch McConnell and Marco Rubio and a bunch of them made very clear that if Trump did any of that, they were going to vote to impeach him, which would have rendered him ineligible, or rather to convict him. And that second impeachment trial was about keeping Trump under control on his way out. I was extremely involved in the effort to try and get a pardon for both. I knew how close he was to Snowden. I knew he wanted to do it, and I believe that's the reason he didn't. That doesn't exonerate Trump for me, but it I think explains it. But I don't think there's this is not a huge issue for the majority of voters. What symbolically that would do, though, what is to say, we are not going to allow the secret part of the government to continue to commit crimes and to continue to hide the most important things they're doing from the public. We're not supposed to have a part of the government that operates in secret, where the only people who get punished are the ones who reveal the crimes, and the people who commit the crimes are the ones who get shielded. These two cases are different. Snowden was somebody who actually worked inside the government. He had an oath to maintain the secrecy of the documents he ended up revealing. Julian Assange is not even an American citizen. He has no obligation to the U.S. government of any kind. He didn't take any secrets. He was in the role of journalist. He did something the New York Times and the Washington Post do every day, which is he got secrets from someone who worked inside the government, which is Chelsea Manning, and he published them. And the fear of the Obama administration, they wanted to prosecute Assange, was that how do we justify prosecuting Assange while we don't prosecute the editors of the New York Times and the Guardian that worked with him to publish exactly the same documents? The case and the problem with the Assange prosecution, aside from the fact that it's a huge travesty in terms of press freedom, is that the United States has no ability to go around the world and give its lectures about press freedom in Russia, in Iran, in North Korea, in anywhere. You go to any of those countries as an American journalist and you say, why is it that you're imprisoning journalists who are dissidents in your country who criticize your government? They will immediately say, are you kidding? Who are you to give us that lecture? You have arguably the most innovative and important journalist of his generation sitting in a prison cell going on a decade now, if you count the asylum he needed from Ecuador, who has done nothing wrong other than reveal war crimes on the part of the United States government. So more important than the personal outcome of these two people, and Snowden has an okay life in Russia. He's, doing well. He has an American wife who was his girlfriend from way before he became Edward Snowden. They have 2 small children. They have a beautiful family. He's doing well economically. He can't leave Russia, but he's free within Russia. Assange is in a prison cell, in a high security prison cell. So beyond the kind of personal stake, which I care about a lot because they're both my friends and people I admire a lot, is the symbolic importance of saying the U.S. security state is not going to continue to have the power to destroy the lives of people who reveal their crimes. That really is ultimately what it's about. It would be an act of incredible courage for a president to stand up to the U.S. security state and say, we know you want these people destroyed and we're going to pardon them. And that's going to show that transparency is now the new rule of how you're going to function.
So if you like this clip and you want to watch another one, click right here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click right here.